Are we live? Are we live? Okay, are we live now? Okay. Are we live now? Okay, let me go ahead and... Oops. Sorry. Are we live? Okay, good. We're live. Because tonight it's pretty bad right now. I'm just going to try to begin the show talking about some weird topics. So today I'm going to go ahead and talk about some things. And I want you guys to tell me what you guys think of this because I want to hear from you guys. But unfortunately, I know that some people are probably not going to watch this stream. It's not very popular. It's not really great. It's just my show. I'm just doing this for the fun of it. I don't really care because a lot of people are upset with me for a lot of reasons. They have their gripes and criticisms that they don't like to hear me or they get annoyed by me, and it's understandable. But today I'm going to go ahead and talk about something, and I want you guys to tell me what you guys think of this because there's been a lot of things going on, and people have been talking about this for a while. Sorry, I got this potato chip that I'm eating right now. So I'm going to go ahead and... how's it going? Right now, I'm just trying to begin the show here. So there's been some things that are going on. I found out from my buddy Striker, Red. He basically showed me something. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something, main display. Kind of funny. I'll show you guys what it is. The KFC commercial for Kentucky Fried Chicken.
We last left off with ancient Liyue beset by an ocean demon and a mountain dragon. Rex Lapis mustered his adepti to restore peace to the land. They say that before he set out, he spoke these words.
Oh, God. Colonel Sanders is in the WWE.
Oh, howdy, Mom. I hear you're the best mom in the world. Well...
And he fought the chicken.
I will have order.
I came to this event to be entertained. What do you know about chicken? Anybody in their right mind knows that KFC's Chicken Little is the world's best chicken sandwich.
Says who?
That's the best commercial I've ever seen. That's like the best Genshin Impact commercial they did for parody. I think that was actually pretty entertaining. Oh, boy. All right, let me see what you guys think of this because it's like this is like the I'm sorry, I wasn't able to show you guys that. It's kind of hilariously funny, but it's due to copyright reasons. I can't show it to you guys, but this is what they had. I'm going to show you guys a commercial. It's kind of hilarious. I know that I'm going to get copyright strike for this, but what the hell? This is from Billy. Someone actually did this. That's actually pretty interesting. I wonder if they'll ever do that in the U.S. It'd be cool, though, because it's actually pretty interesting what they're doing with this Genshin Impact thing for Kentucky Fried Chicken. But this is only in China, though. That's the thing. And my buddy Red kind of showed it to me. I'm like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. That they're actually doing this advertisement for KFC and Genshin Impact. So, I don't know what to tell you guys, but it does seem like it's really cool. A KFC and Genshin Impact restaurant. That's actually pretty cool. I wish they would do that in the US, but they won't. The problem is that it has to be really popular among kids or adults, and the sad part is that they don't want another incident where they basically, due to the fact that this is in Asia, and we still live in fear of the COVID situation. I do feel bad for what's going on here, and it's kind of sad too. I'm not gonna try to hate on them or anything like that, but I do admire that they do this. It's actually pretty cool. You gotta show respect to that. Like, that's really creative marketing right there. And it's a shame that we can't eat like that. They still do wear face masks and such, but it's interesting that due to COVID, like, they shut down every restaurant, and you're only allowed to go into drive-ins. And it's kind of a shame too, because it's like, yeah, I'm sorry for being so negative about it, but yeah, that's what's going on. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, that is pretty cool. I got to admit, that is pretty cool for the commercial that they did for Genshin Impact for KFC. That is really cool marketing. Okay, let me go ahead and see the memes for this one. Hold on, let me I guess I'll bring in some commentary. This is pretty interesting, though. Yeah, this is actually pretty cool. I gotta admit, yeah, KFC is pretty popular in China and all over Asia. But it's funny. Yeah, because Genshin Impact is pretty popular in China. It's kind of crazy how they actually do love the game. But I got to admit, that's actually pretty cool and creative. I'm not gonna lie. This is actually interesting that they're doing this in China, even in Taiwan too. The guy stole the sign. Like, literally, they stole the sign. Yeah, I would love to see this in America just to see how people react. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I would probably sell them in a... I'm sorry, I'm eating potato chips right now. It's hilarious that they're stealing this stuff. Like, the police are literally there. Well, not everyone is upset. That's actually pretty cool, though. I got to admit, that's actually interesting to see. Yeah, all that is just crazy. Like, the fan base is really rabid over in China and Taiwan, and because a lot of people really like Genshin Impact. I know in the United States it's okay, but it's kind of a gotcha game. It has a reputation of being a gotcha game, and that's what a lot of people dislike about that that game. And it is interesting to see that video. I thought it was really cool. So, I don't know what to tell you guys, but that's pretty much what I'm looking at from this stream. Right now, I'll go ahead and discuss something that happened on social media. So, this is what's going on, because I guess I better go ahead and talk to you guys about this issue, because I know some people will block me. I know some people don't like me. But here's my opinion on this. I don't really care. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people hate me. But I just like to enjoy myself for a moment and talk about some things that are going on. And I'm going to go ahead and do something right now. So let's see here. Let's see. So, what is this going on? Well, I'll show you, because it came from the source himself, which is Data Racer. So, this is what's going on. So, according to Data Racer, he posted this on March 19th. So the people at Rewriting Ripley kind of went after Geeks and Gamers and other YouTubers who were speaking out on the whole Star Wars movie trilogy of the Rian Johnson trilogy, as I call it. Now, it turns out some fans were pretty much... Rewriting Ripley podcast was trying to deplatform Star Wars YouTubers, is being run by a Rilo SJW, Katie McCourt. She says TLG haters' opinions are violent and have damaged her mental health, and she fears for her life besides being criticized a movie. Ethan Manscriber is being targeted. So, for those who don't know, Raylos were kind of a fan base that is very toxic. Yes, they are very toxic. A lot of people don't realize this, but the Raylo is a shipping fan base of Star Wars that likes to ship and pair couples together in an obsessive way. I'm not kidding. A lot of them obsess about this very thing. And they make these videos and such in hopes to, because there was a video like this, the controversial Reylo top 20 fandom relationships. Like, this was something that was going on. A lot of people were hoping that this would happen. So, that was the thing that bothered a lot of people. And that is what was going on. But a lot of people don't know what the Reylos are. And the Reylos are a very toxic culture. Reylos are toxic. Because there's a lot of... the Reylos are toxic. Because there was some people that left like threatening harassment, like the Reylo fans, and of course it came out that one of their own members was a Reylo fan. I'm not kidding. This is what Data Racer dug up about Katie McCourt, which is censored because he does not want to put out this thing. Now, it's kind of funny. Like, I thought it was hilarious. Like, the pictures of the Reylo fans, like, they were very creepy. Yeah, and this chick's very creepy. So, I want to go ahead and tell you guys something on what's going on. This is what they said. I have mentally... Like, this is informal majesty. I have only mentally allowed myself to break from the Star Wars for about a week and realized the damage that the fandom has done to my psyche has been interesting. It really is insane and violent and toxic and depressing, and I love my... But she loved my... and showing her cat. That's creepy. That is creepy. I just want to be in space where I'm not constantly fearing for my mental health, and in some cases my life. These people are gamer gay. These people are comics gay. If you don't know that, consider yourself lucky. Also, think about being informed before you create some made up story. That's what we are talking about. Anything other than the alt-right's recruitments and spread. This is kind of what this person is. So, they traced it back, the whole thing with Ethan Van Sciver making a video that was years ago, and I remembered this. This was years ago. And it was a joke. It was a harmless joke, basically basically talking about this. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with this whole issue. I don't recall. For those who don't know, a lot of people were upset with Rose Tico, and they went after the actress on Instagram. And the problem is that I can honestly tell you guys the side story to that. A lot of people didn't like Rose Tico. It wasn't because of... It was how the character was presented, and Kelly Marie Tran was harassed on Instagram, and a lot of people said some mean things to her. But the problem is that Ethan Van Sciver was never involved in that. And I can honestly confirm, yes, he didn't do that. But this person is claiming that that Rose Tico was being hated on. The problem is, this was back in 2018. He kind of said that Rose Tico, like his intro. I used to remember his intro. One of his original intros that he did, he used her as a mascot, as he called her. And the problem with this is that a lot of people are talking about this. And I'm going to go ahead and be brutally honest with you guys. This is nothing new. I knew this watching Ethan Van Sciver's videos, like he basically said that he likes Rose Tico, and yes, he made fun of Rose Tico at times, but Ethan kind of called her the mascot of his YouTube channel. And yes, he made an offensive joke about Kelly Marie Tran, but he didn't do that intentionally because a lot of people didn't like her, but they just made jokes about her because of the way she was portrayed in the Star Wars movie as this creepy lady who was suddenly in love with Finn in the movie, and it kind of went off the deep end. And that was the issue that people had with that film. And that was pretty much it. And a lot of people were kind of finding out about the Reylo thing. And for those who don't know, the Reylos were horrible people. They threatened J.J. Abrams, and they threatened other people. Like they were basically obsessive of forcing this situation. Like, I'm not kidding. The Reylo fans are toxic. Like, there's a video on YouTube talking about them, and I'm not joking. There is a video that I'm going to show you guys on YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead and look for it right now and show you guys what's up, because it's kind of funny. Yes, so I'm going to show you a video that was happening. I'm going to show you a video, guys, a year ago.
Grubhub.
So, oh God, that stupid meme. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead because I hate that meme. So, wait a moment. That thing became a meme. I swear to God, the Grubhub advertisement for that meme. At least I got to see it now. Now I know why they like it. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the video. Here we go. Oh, finally, my package came in. Thank you. Okay. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys something. Here we go. Let me go ahead and show you guys what it is that's up. This was a video from a year ago, and I'm going to show you.
Warning, spoilers for every movie ever made.
Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know what's with the bombastic music. I'm just, this is just my spaceship. Oh no, it's Disney CEO Bob Iger.
Yes, lil bitch. It's me, Bob Iger, CEO of Disney. How dare you insult our precious Star Wars brand in any way, shape, or form. We made Reylo canon so our OMG so quirky Roar XD audience can eat it up, and now you fat ass original trilogy nerds are calling them toxic? Speaking of Star Wars, don't forget to buy your Disney Plus membership so that you can watch such amazing shows and movies like The Mandalorian, Cars 2, Kazam, Captain Marvel, G-Force, The Lone Ranger, and The Mandalorian.
You said The Mandalorian twice.
We also have National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets on our streaming platform.
You take Bitcoin, right?
Yo, I hit the jeweler, got some goals. I sold a little weed, but I could never sell my soul. And when I'm in LA, you find me out in Lil Toke. Come a vocal with my ramen, I'ma need another bowl. Let's go.
It's Party Rock is.
Hey, what up, nerds? Hey, it's me again, your boy Dumsy. And I'm back with a brand new video today. I know a lot of you are used to me roasting Sonic fans a lot of the time, but sometimes I like broadening myself. And sometimes a topic fits way too well to the point where I just can't ignore it. Case in point, Reylo.
Man, they best rename that shit to Gaylo.
This is a fan base that is truly stupid. They're dense as fuck. They care way too much about two fictional Star Wars characters. Get overly mad when people disagree with them. They harass the actual cast and crew of the films. And they've even sent fucking death threats. Now, it goes without saying, not all Reylo shippers are like this, but like a certain other shipping in a certain other community, while the shipping itself may have tons of fucking problems, I'll get into that very soon, most of the blame can be put on the toxic fans themselves. And Kathleen Kennedy, because fuck Kathleen Kennedy.
My dick's not big, my girlfriend fucks my friend.
Before we actually get into Reylo, I think it's important to cover the history of the Star Wars fan base, and concurrently Star Wars itself, because a lot of things make a lot more sense in context. This is more for non-Star Wars fans, or just people who need a recap in general. But if you think you know everything already, or just really hate my voice, feel free to skip to this part of the video. Anyways, on with the history lesson. Our story begins in 1977, with the release of a small indie film called Star Wars. A film that was unlike anything else that came before it. Star Wars wasn't just a big film, it transcended film and sci-fi, and simultaneously inspired and paved the way for future 1980s franchises. Star Wars was then followed up by two sequels, the groundbreaking Empire Strikes Back, and in my opinion, the underappreciated Return of the Jedi. These three films make up the original trilogy, and are about a young boy named Luke Skywalker teaming up with the Rebel Alliance to stop the evil Galactic Empire, ruled by Darth Vader, who turns out to be Luke Skywalker's father. And along the way, Luke Skywalker learns how to use the Force and become a Jedi. So far pretty simple, right? Nothing too bad yet. Well, here's the issue. Because Star Wars is such a revolutionary and renowned franchise, it has one of the oldest and one of the most passionate fan bases on the planet. And with that, anything new or less than amazing is going to get a massive backlash. Case in point, the Star Wars prequels. From 1999 to 2005, the Star Wars prequels were released, and they are garbage. They have good things in them. Ewan McGregor is an amazing actor. There's a reason I'm a Lego version of him. But the prequel trilogy is filled with bad characters, bad writing, and bad CGI. However, here's the issue. A lot of kids, myself included, were introduced to the prequels after they had already come out. And suddenly, you have a surprisingly passionate prequel fan base. Because to them, the prequels are merely part of the story. So you already have a divide between old OG trilogy fans and the new prequel fans. So already, it's pretty fractured. But it somehow gets worse. In 2012, Disney bought Star Wars for $4 billion. billion. Now, before this acquisition, there was this thing called the Star Wars Expanded Universe. Basically, any book, comic book, video game, TV show, etc. was part of this expanded universe. However, in 2014, Disney announced that the entire expanded universe is non-canon now. So, there's another divide, and we haven't even gotten to the sequel trilogy yet. Oh boy, the sequel trilogy. So, after Disney bought Lucasfilm, they announced a Star Wars Episode 7, 8, and 9, and also announced 2 spin-off films, Solo: A Star Wars Story and Rogue One. Only one of these films ended up being any good, and that was The Force Awakens. Rogue One was boring and forgettable, Solo was enjoyable but bland, and Star Wars Episode 8, yikes. So, while Episode 7 was a really enjoyable, simple film that gave you plenty of questions to ask and hopefully the later films would resolve them, Episode 8 tried way too hard to be subversive. And what you end up getting is a Star Wars film with terrible characters. Characters getting killed off before you even know who they are. And I kid you not, a scene where Luke Skywalker, the main character of the original trilogy, drinks alien titty milk. Not even joking. He's reduced to the butt of a joke. And it gets even worse once you realize that the sequel trilogy had no actual plot outline, meaning that the current leader of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, just threw directors with conflicting visions at the wall and went, make a trilogy. And what's weird is that The Last Jedi has its fans. And I'll admit, on its own, it's a fine movie. It's just a fucking awful Star Wars movie and a terrible second installment to a trilogy. Because of this, this film is even more divisive, dividing people who liked The Last Jedi and people who didn't like The Last Jedi. The reason I bring this up is to show you how fractured the Star Wars fan base is, and also give some light on why Reylo kind of rose to prominence, and why Star Wars is in utter chaos right now. Hopefully y'all non-Star Wars fans are caught up now, but this story is far from over.
Ain't it funny? You with him, you say you love me. I've been trying to get away for some time.
Finally, I can talk about Reylo now. No more filler. So, shortly after the release of Star Wars: The Force Awakens, fangirls naturally did what they did best. Be retarded, started shipping characters. However, there was one ship that was growing in prominence. The ship between Rey, the main character of the new trilogy, who is literally a Mary Sue, and Kylo Ren, the antagonist of the new trilogy. He's the edgy one. However, it wasn't until The Last Jedi when Reylo really began to gain prominence. Because in The Last Jedi, there are scenes where Kylo Ren and Rey are clearly talking to each other. Not even kidding. But Domsville, there's a scene in The Last Jedi where I don't care. So while The Last Jedi ended up being a really divisive film, and that's putting it lightly, Reylo fans ended up loving the film because it included scenes in the film that really aren't that romantic at all, and boiled down to Kylo Ren and Rey talking about joining one or the other. Whoa, man, the same happened with Luke and Darth Vader. You think they'll fall in love too? Man, this is all sounding really familiar. Lack of evidence, yet strong fan base? That sounds really familiar. Like I covered this somewhere before. Also, something to note about Reylo. The actress who plays as Rey, Daisy Ridley, doesn't like the ship. In fact, she called it abuse. Despite this, however, Reylo fans began to grow strong and a little bit crazy.
But in today's video...
Okay, before I continue, look at all that Kylo Ren merch. Holy shit. I'm kind of scared to think about what she does to that Kylo Ren cutout back there. A little bit of that, that bad dragon action.
I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a personal track and explaining how Reylo has changed my life.
Bruh, it's 2 fictional Star Wars characters. What?
I will have to say I'm wearing a Reylo t-shirt today. So if you can see...
That's just a regular Star Wars t-shirt.
It's Rey.
No, that's Adam Sandler.
And then there's Kylo Ren in the background and their lightsabers are coming together, and it's really beautiful. I love it so much.
It's just a regular Star Wars shirt. Oh, look, dude, here's my Reylo t-shirt. It has Rey and Kylo Ren on it. Look at that. Yeah, man, look at my Reylo t-shirt. Look at my Reylo t-shirt. Oh, check out my Reylo t-shirt, dude. Hold up, let me find you like a better Reylo t-shirt. Come on, dog. Ooh, yes. Ooh, this one is so gangsta. Ooh, I'd be so cool wearing this one in my high school. Oh, yes, this one. The lightsabers with the Hobbit font going on here. This one's good. This one's good. You are not alone. Neither are you. Ooh, yes, the cream of the crop. Space Pride and Prejudice. The Reylo fanbase began to grow more and more and more. There was fan fiction, fan art, Rule 34, AMVs.
Get the physical warfare pack only when you pre-order Battlefield 3 from GameStop.
There are even full-on songs about Reylo. And not just song parodies. Oh no. Full-on written songs.
Okay, on tarp. At the party, fuck around pussy boy and you get.
However, something happened to Reylo. And by that, I mean its fan base. Because of its growing popularity, the Reylo fandom quickly became more and more elitist. And if you've watched my channel before, you know where this is going already. But here's the thing. This gets more interesting because the moment Reylo went insane was the moment it became canon.
Nigga bitches. I get it. So bitch, I'm with it. I get it.
Star Wars Episode 9, one of the worst theater experiences I've ever had. Long story short, this movie is garbage. It's basically one big Last Jedi retcon, but by doing so, it introduces things that make zero sense whatsoever. However, at the very end of the film, literally pulled out of nowhere, Kylo Ren and Rey have one kiss. And then Kylo Ren dies. Now you may be thinking that Reylo fans would be excited about this, rejoicing that their ship that they made fucking music videos and songs for is finally canon. I'm sure all the Reylo fans on Twitter, a perfectly non-toxic platform by the way, are super excited that their ship is canon once and for all. Yeah, Reylo fans weren't happy. The issue wasn't that they were or weren't canon, it was how they were made canon. They really didn't like how Kylo Ren did the Joseon Froy, and proceeded to send shit like this. I'm gonna kill you just like you did with Ben. I'm gonna kill J.J. Abrams with my own hands. J.J. Abrams, I will find you and I will kill you. Would you rather receive an Iron Man suit or a lightsaber plus the Force as a holiday gift? A lightsaber with the Force so I can kill J.J. Abrams. It's official. I'm going to kill J.J. Abrams. I want J.J. Abrams' head on a platter. I can't fucking stand how I put my life on the line for the It's fucking Star Wars. The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi just for J.J. Abrams to do this to me. Where does he live? I'm literally gonna kill him. Finally see the Rise of Skywalker and I'm gonna kill J.J. Abrams with my bare hands. I'm gonna K-word J.J. Abrams. Fuck you, Disney Studios, Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and Star Wars. I really wish you a slow and painful death, like this trilogy was. You fucked up the story, you fucked up everything, you suck. Money does not mean everything, yeah! I hate you, but... Exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, shh. Watch out, but exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, shh. You ain't never getting forgiven for this, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, shh. Fuck you. So these Spurgs over here aren't mad because their ship isn't canon, but because it wasn't canon in the way they wanted it to be canon. How dense can you be? How honestly dense can you be? Your ship was literally made canon and you aren't satisfied? Sorry, I need to be more respectful. You put your life on the line to see a movie where a bunch of fictional actors and actresses put on costumes and whack each other's laser swords until one dies. Yeah, man, that's like Vietnam level, really putting your life on the line there. It wasn't long before Twitter users like Data Eraser and Shit Raylo Say started making a name for themselves by exposing these toxic Raylo fans. These users' threads and posts play out like cringe compilations almost. Take a look at some of these tweets. Today, my therapist told me it's valid to be triggered. Oh, jeez. By portrayals of an abusive relationship in a film, and I'm allowed to not want to expose myself to it. If anyone needs validation for feeling triggered by Tross, she's a licensed professional and your feelings are valid. You're going to a therapist to talk about a fake space movie? You know what? I think I need to go to a therapist now because I'm triggered by your own portrayal in your stupid ass tweets. For all the people shitting on us for grieving, my actual therapist, as opposed to your fake one, who is qualified to give opinions on mental health, says that feeling this grief is normal. It's something we all looked forward to and now it's gone. It's a loss, so fuck whoever says it's not. I mean, yeah, she's right. Feeling grief is normal, but these are fictional characters who don't exist. My boyfriend really called me to tell me to grow up because it's just a fucking movie and I'm suffering from hatred. Oh my god. I mean, he's right though. It makes me so sad because like this goes above fans being unhappy. If it hurts people this badly, God, you're just being unhappy. Shut the fuck up. God. So as you can tell, Raylo fans are brilliant people. They're complainers, they send death threats, they whine about a fictional space opera to their therapists. It's the dumbest thing in the universe, and somehow, believe it or not, it gets even worse.
Your feelings for her.
What can you do with your product?
Yeah, so that's what's going on. And of course, we find out that one of the people who work for this whole Rewriting Ripley podcast is a Raylo. And a lot of people don't realize the Raylos are not really happy. So last year, Lucasfilm's social media manager put out a call for data analysts to help her make this fandom better. Okay, so the story goes into this. I do have okay, hi Twitter. Do I have any academics that follow me here who are experts in the fandom, particularly fandoms in relation to digital culture online, and would love to chat with you? So basically, they hired some people that are basically trying to go after critics of Star Wars. And I'm going to go ahead and point out something. And I'll admit I'm not a saint either, but I'm just going to go ahead and point out this. Thanks to and of course Cassie Kristoff, thanks just for trying to turn these into action items so we could try to help make things better on my end. Really would welcome the input of non-cis white men and women so we can make this a better fandom for everyone. And here's the problem with the movie. And this is kind of what they were planning to do to try to discredit them. So they got someone who is Moreton Bay PH and stuff. So they have people trying to do this. Hey, really? Okay, so Informal Majesty. Hey, I really appreciate the shout out. I'm definitely not an academic, just a data analyst. Thank you for thinking of me, though. So they basically are shippers. So this Raylo chick is a shipper. And they are trying to make the fan base better. Writer that runs a social media Star Wars cinephile, 30-something, mostly tweets about old movies and Paul Thomas Anderson. Views are my own, not my employer's. That's fair. So, This is a long story short. They formed this, which started out in 2020 and is followed by many people in the Star Wars fan base. So this is what's going on. There will be salt. Rewriting Ripley podcast started in December of 2020 in response to this toxic fan base. So let's put it this way. Last year, Katie wrote her first Star Wars hit piece about me and had it 10K retweets and 50 likes. Dozens of Lucas followers shared it. So, Bethany Larson covered in the Washington Post lying about my post on Twitter. Delete your name when you write hit pieces about me, Katie. So, that's pretty much what we're seeing here. Let's see here. Like Captain Marvel incident, Data Racer posted tweets with screen traps that Reylo were allegedly sending death threats to JJ at the time of Bon Jovi. Despite Data Racer's history attempting to devalue women in the fandom community, which is not true because he never really said that. He just points out some of the stuff that happened. I don't want to keep talking about this, but I will address the lies. You attacked me and others exposing Reylo's toxicity, harassing Star Wars cast and crew members and their families. Your name was all over your Medium and Twitter when you started lying for clicks. Stop lying. Now, this is what happened. Bitch media, the thirst is over. Yeah, and this is what they did. Maria Watanabe. Problems of ongoing harassment in social media. So, this is actually a really good discussion. So I'm going to give credit to Data Racer here. You can follow him on social media to follow the drama that happened. Now, this has happened for a while, and the escalation that's been happening, it's a big surprise that what is going on is that the Reylo fan, that one of their data researchers was a Reylo fan. And yes, Katie McCourt happens to be a Reylo fan. She fears for her life. Yes, and that fan base is very toxic, to be honest with you. The Reylo fan base that basically ruined Star Wars, who basically harassed, and I'm not joking. Like there's some stuff that you might as well know. Like they basically doxed Adam Driver. And I'm not kidding. This actually did happen. According to the blog. This is what happened. According to the blog, Disney Star Wars is dumb. Evolved fans who doxed Adam Driver, harassed Disney Ridley are growing the community. If you thought Raylers were nuts, just wait until you get a load of the dabbers. Unthinkable idiots who, like a media, who have been breathless returning phrases like "toxed out" fan base over and over again. The way Mr. Bayes uses of Disney Star Wars, it's almost becoming kind of information for those who have been assimilated to Star Wars SJW cult. Okay, but they failed to omit to a report on generally toxic element of the fan base, which appears to be a portion of the fan base now specifically appealing to shippers. Let the ships always say, Brian Young. Readers of the blog may be familiar with the shipping of the concept of Reylo after Star Wars fandom sex abuse investigation. Yes, so yeah, Eva Van Sciver's sex Star Wars scandal. That's funny. Oh boy. Now, Adam Driver was harassed. And I do remember that the Reylos have doxed Adam Driver and his wife, Joanna Tucker. And I believe that's the
Welcome to the DJD show, coming to you live. On with the show. Well, ladies and gentlemen.
So, let's look at it. Let's see here. If I could find it. The Star Wars Reylo conspiracy theorists have doxed Adam Driver and his wife, hacking their iCloud account. So, this was discussed a while back. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me look over here. Reylos have doxed. Okay. So, six things you didn't know about Adam Driver. Yeah, because they basically talked about this. Reylos have doxed Adam Driver. Star Wars Adam Driver admits he hates taking pictures with his little bit of Scrooge when taking pictures. Okay, let's look at this because I'm trying to look for that article into question about Daisy really rejects Reylos. Because Reylos have doxed Reylos. Okay, so here we go. Even though they're not the best, they're pretty biased, but I'll read it anyway. Star Wars actor Daisy really rejected the Reylo movement during the Star Wars celebration over the past weekend. During the interview, Ridley was asked about if she knew about the Reylos and if she was a supporter of it. She responded, I do know about the Reylo, and I don't know how I feel about it because everyone is talking about the toxic thing of the relationship when essentially his emotions, it's a tricky road. And would add, I do feel a deep down Kylo thinks what he's doing is right and he doesn't think he's wrong, but he also killed so many people, so I can't really get behind it. No, in a personal way, you know. Daisy doesn't like Reylo confirms. Literally, she said she can't get behind it. But they were forcing this on her. And it was kind of sad, too, because I heard that they doxed his family. Okay, so this is what happened. The Reylo movement had taken their fandom outside of the fictional verse of the Star Wars and actually wanted Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver to be an item. In fact, some of these people have even fantasized about Adam Driver's child being killed and his wife being arrested. And this was according to that. As Even Ben Skyber points out in his video, the Twitter user Data Racer discovered a number of hateful comments from people involved in the Reylo movement. And this was a while back. Like, he was basically showing pictures of this. There's been apartment for months. Like, they were basically Daisy Adam because you have to pay for American Dollar. Like, they literally doxed him. Oops, Joanna left the window. Little Johnny is so fond of Wide Open. Oh, little Johnny's dead. Adam is so happy. I hope Joanna gets arrested for child endangerment after little Johnny jumps. Blonde bastard, go splat. His little noggin. And this is something. And Johnny here is the referred to Baby Driver. Yeah, so this is what's going on. Yeah, and this is crazy, though. They've been stalking the drivers and posting nasty stuff about Joanna and their baby dying in hopes they separate. They also been stalking Driver and Tucker's family, approaching them at some ATF event and even stalked their hairstylist on Instagram. Joanna Tucker must die. The type of stuff all over 4chan. To be fair, most Reylos aren't on the board with this. Like, this is kind of creepy. Like, Joanna Tucker, here's your beautiful Joanna people. Look up with a close of your fucking beer goggles. This chick is old and hideous. Adam Driver can do much better. Like, they literally said this stuff, and he basically screenshots this stuff constantly. Mountains of evidence in Lucasfilm's precious new 18 to 24 female fan demographic misbehaving. It'll never be reported. Yet the media wrote 1,000 articles about toxic Star Wars fan base harassed Maria Trent with no evidence. Only one Instagram comment existed. This is what the person said. Shut the fuck up. Like, you could do any better. You did a terrible job in Star Wars presence and ruined the entire movie. That's not because you're an Asian actress, just bad. Your character is just as worse. Dick, why did you kiss Finn without consent? That's sexual harassment. Yeah, that's what happened. Like, a lot of people were kind of upset with that storyline. Especially, I knew in China they didn't like Kelly Marie Tran kissing a black guy. That was the whole situation that escalated. That's why that movie kind of happened. Now, I have several Reylo and Adam Driver fans as followers, so I'm going to post this now. Recently, an interview by the Royal Gazette paper with Adam's wife, Joanna Tucker, was posted. It's making its rounds on Tumblr, but not for good reasons. Summary: fandom's gone toxic. Now, this is what it said. I'm just going to say this once. The sheer amount of obsession the fan base has shown towards Driver and his family always deeply disturbed me. I've had people sending me unsolicited and stolen photos from Driver's cloud storage when I tried to protect their privacy. Even had to stop talking to a previously close friend because she used Driver's child and fatherhood as part of her personal fetish on public platform. I've distanced myself personally from the fandom. Due to this, I moved on to other interests that don't involve real life people as much. I hope Adam and Joanna and their son can retain some much needed safety and privacy and security with all the crap I've seen in regards to them from fans. And yes, this is not lying. This is actually what's going on. And did you just steal a thread maybe by Reylos exposing the toxic behavior of the small group of Adam stans that blame the entire Reylo fandom, making us look bad? We don't condone this shit at all. Stop trying to make it seem like we do. Delete this garbage. Yeah. Don't throw that type of label in the fandom because apparently you don't know it. Don't come and judge the public and majority. Yeah, and this is what's going on. This has been going on for a while, and people have been talking about this. I didn't want this kind of attention. Jeremy, you immediately cried about that on live stream. Like, this is kind of what's going on. This is the case of it. So I'm going to go ahead and continue with the Reylo thing. Hold on if I could skip through this whole thing.
Prodigy membership?
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and try to... Alright, let's see.
Not real. They are real to me!
Yeah. So let's continue on.
So get this. It wasn't enough for Reylo fans to just harass and send death threats to J.J. Abrams. They also had to send death threats to John Boyega, the actor who plays as Finn. And part of the reason is because Reylo fans really hate a ship called Rey Finn. And by hate Finn, I mean they really hate Finn. Like, wow. Where the fuck is Star Wars going? So in response to this clearly intelligent criticism, John Boyega posted this tweet, Star Wars romance, showing all the times Kylo Ren and Rey fought, basically proving once and for all that it's a really shitty shipping. And how did Reylo fans respond? Well, this one just posted the one scene from Rise of Skywalker where they kiss. You know, the one scene that was forced in the movie? Look at this person. Cancel culture is dumb, but John Boyega is definitely canceled. What an ass. It's from Tumblr, so you know it's good. Hashtag end John Boyega. He will not get away with his sexist bullshit. It's not okay. Yeah, man, label him as sexist. Okay, that's smart. We should flood John's mentions with NSFW Reylo art. So you're literally going to spam and harass him because he doesn't like your ship? Okay. This is me, a Reylo, who is apparently not seriously. This is me, a Reylo, who is apparently not welcome in the Star Wars community ever because of who I ship. Going to have a cry now. I'm so done with this stupid fucking franchise. I think the worst part about this is that her avatar is literally Rose Tico, the worst Star Wars character since fucking Jar Jar Binks. Does John come off as a sociopath to you? No, I see more narcissistic personality traits than anything else, which is very common in the entertainment field, by the way. And narcissists can be very charming until you provoke their narcissist rage. Oh shit, Gamer Guide, is that you? You're still a misogynist. This one's good because John actually replied to it, and you're an idiot. Reylo is canon. Stay mad. Oh, come on, Maria. That's no way to talk to a real-life Hollywood star. Man, seriously, fuck you. And then John Boyega, in response, just posts a GIF. Now, some of these responses were deleted, but John Boyega's comments are still legendary. Star Wars is a movie, not a documentary. Daisy knows she isn't the character. Also, to be honest, she doesn't give a fuck. Well, other women do, so maybe you should log off, thanks. Imagine writing this. Also, John Boyega posted an Instagram video of him just memeing around and deflecting tweets. It's a really funny video. I give it a hard watch. But as legendary as John Boyega is, and even though I've gained a lot of newfound respect for him through this also paints a really sad picture of who Reylo fans really are and what they're like. It's to the point where they will even harass the actors just because they disagree with them. In fact, Adam Driver, the guy who plays as Kylo Ren, was stalked and harassed by Reylo fans. So Reylo fans aren't just toxic, and they aren't just crazy, but they're literal stalkers. And they're high in number too. There's not just one bad fan. So it's almost like an entire army of true love hearts over here. And to see this come from the Star Wars fan base of all places, it's really depressing and downright sickening. John Boyega might be having fun with this, but honestly, stalking isn't funny at all. This shit has gone way too far and needs to stop immediately.
Baby, I need Fortnite in my life, in my life.
So, in conclusion, if this sounds familiar to you, if you're a fan of my channel, that's because, honestly, it should. These Reylo fans share a lot in common with Sonami fans from the Sonic fan base. In fact, Reylo fans might be even worse because at least Sonami fans don't go out and stalk people in real life. At least not yet. But the overall point in this video is to show you guys that toxic shipping can exist in any community. Sometimes even in the ones we least expect. The problem is that some people just can't separate fact from fiction. And sometimes they even let their shippings and headcanon dictate the way they live. Overall, the moral of the story is don't be retarded. If you let a fake non-canon, or in this case actually canon shipping, take over your life, you'll become a toxic person. That should be obvious, but clearly some people need to learn that the hard way. My name is Dumbsville. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a like down below. Share this with your friends, your mom, your grandma, your goldfish. I hope you have a good night, and I will see you guys on the next Dumbsville video.
Yeah. So that is what's going on, and that's what happened. And a lot of people don't realize that this fan base has a history of being ultimate harassers, ultimate abusers. They went so far to go after celebrities. They even doxed Adam Driver, and yet Ethan Van Sciver is the worst person in the world. And they blame him for this. And the funny thing was, there's no evidence to prove that Ethan Van Sciver was the one that drove all the fan base to hate on her, because there's no evidence to prove it. Yet they're claiming that Ethan Van Sciver was involved in this whole situation. And the truth is, it wasn't him. And the fact that this caused a little bit of a side effect on what was going on in what they were lying to, they practically went after people left and right trying to cancel them. And there are some really bad people that have been going after people over this. And this is what's going on. They literally tried to cancel the Ethan Van Sciver and other people, including Geeks and Gamers, and they literally did this.
Stop you from killing Chinese people. And to me, no, he'll never stop me from killing Chinese people. Ever. I don't care how many movies he makes.
We haven't killed enough.
Give me a Tommy gun and line him up against the wall, as the great Stan Lee once said.
Hashtag nuke China, right?
That's right. Okay. Stop you from killing Chinese people. And to me, no, he'll never stop me from killing Chinese people.
Yeah, and it was just a joke. That was the thing that caused people to get upset about this. So, do you really do a little research before sharing things like that? This quote was meant to be sarcastic and was cut out of context purposely to manipulate people like you to help hate groups like Rewrite Ripley Podcast to deplatform those guys. Yes, because joking about killing Asian people days after 6 Asian women were killed in cold blood is totally okay, right? Raylos are still a thing. This is just insane. Why are those who support the left be allowed to target harassment and have the consequences? Just wait for her to go fund me and appear to help her mental health unless it's already up. Since these people were from Rewriting Ripley Podcast have real mental issues, they should distance themselves from social media and never look back. I feel sorry for them and all the people brainwashed by the cultist SJW woke BS. The woke paradox. Burner account created by those solely purpose to organize and harass and hate, smears, and intimidate. I think Twitter support needs to take action here for the sake of safety of the users. Okay, unfortunately, Twitter won't do anything. Jack Dorsey is a part of these weirdos, and he allows the far left lunatics to run amok on Twitter and bully while everyone else gets punished. Even Twitter has to maintain an appearance of fairness. If the number of reports flagging on the account is significant enough, they'll generally will have to take action. All these for the make-believe movie, which turned shitty. These people need to get better, need better things to do. Somehow, this behavior isn't targeted harassment. It's perfectly fine with Twitter and screw YouTube. What comes around goes around. Sorry for your butthurt, Ro, but maybe don't let Maddie pound you in the rear, and won't happen often. That's funny. Like, that's funny. These people are more fucked up than I could imagine. This is who Disney wanted to pander to instead of us real life fans. Disgusting. Star Wars was played on the stage playground as kids, speculated what would happen, debated which lightsabers fights was the coolest thing. Now, these days, awful bullies are attacking people creating cringe fan fiction. Yeah, you're not a real Star Wars fan. Thank you so much for this, Data Racer. I said thank you before, but seriously, thank you. I tried to get the news out there however I could, and literally you came through in a clutch. Thank you. Thank you for your support, and much appreciated. So follow Data Racer 1117 on Twitter, please, because he actually does spy on everyone, and it's kind of funny how this is going on for a while. Like, I just happen to be a person who read the word alert, the quartering, Data Racer, and quartering, and more work than me. I'm glad the community has people like him. So there's also Master of the TDS. Now, there's been some things that happened, and this Rilo fan base is terrible. They don't talk about this fan base because they know that this fan base is pretty bad. So the whole Asian Lives Matter thing kind of popped up when it happened, when they kind of got upset with the joke about Ethan Van Sciver making that joke. And this was what's going on. And the fact that this whole racism situation kind of escalated within the fan base, and everyone getting upset with people making comments about certain things they don't like, I get that. It can be a little bit annoying, but at times, you have to understand that they're just joking. And the problem is that they use that to cancel everything and destroy everything. So basically, this group wanted to go after people in Star Wars. These people in question wanted to basically attack because they wanted to take down YouTubers who basically did not like Star Wars. That is what was going on. That was what they were trying to do. That is what their intentions were, to basically go after the quartering, going after Ethan Van Sciver. They went after Geeks and Gamers and tried to frame them as the bad guys, which was the biggest mistake. And to find out that one of them was a Rilo fan who basically went off and tried to go after people over hatred and racism when they got upset over, like, you can't make this up. They got upset over the Finn and Rey couple thing. But a lot of people in Asia kind of got upset, and I heard this from people, the whole yellow fever issue. And I'm not kidding. The yellow fever in Star Wars. You can look this up. Because I know there was like a yellow fever profiles on Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, Star Wars approach to Battle of Zeka, yellow fever, Star Wars round. And I remember there was an article about this in Star Wars about Now, this is nothing new. This is a while back. Hits back, claims racist Star Wars poster. Let's see if I remember. Yeah, so let me see if I can remember. There was a controversy with same-sex kiss in Star Wars. Let's see here. No, it wasn't that one. What Star Wars gets wrong about blacks and women. Let's see. Yeah, this article is kind of blocked. Is on a paywall thing. Let's see. Rose. Let's see if I remember, because I know this kind of caused some controversy in Asia. And Finn. Yeah, Rose and Finn. Like, there was pushed it out of Star Wars. Let's see if I can remember, because I know that there was something here. Why do people hate Rose Tico? Let's see here. Why Kelly Marie Tran was harassed on Star Wars. Let's see if we can look for it, because I know there was this situation to where people kind of talked about this. There was like a blog that basically talked about the fact that Rose Tico was used as a because of the whole stereotype thing. And I remember this article was around for a while. And it was basically that. Yep, it's canceled. But I just want to go ahead and address this issue, because this is what's going on. Solo Gamer, it's been a while. I do have a Discord if you want to jump on, by the way. Boy, it's been a while, and I haven't really got any viewership or anything like that. So if you want to jump on, you can jump on my Discord if you want to, because I would like to talk to you about some things. Because splitting up Finn, Rose, and Skywalker, the pairing has been controversial on a number of fronts. Some fans' reaction to Rose was so negative. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys this, because this article kind of explains a little bit about what was going on. Poor marginalized Rose Tico, the main female character in Star Wars Episode 5, The Last Jedi, can't catch a break, though. The actress playing her, Kelly Marie Tran, now can. At first, the actress and character caught in a lot of flack, along with The Last Jedi as a whole. However, at least in some sections of Reddit, the film was seeking some redemption, as Rose, whom many feel was wrongly sidelined by Rise of Skywalker, they feel the key mistake was keeping her away from the film. Why did Rose get so much less screen time? Let's see here. We met Rose when the film was trying to get away from the rebel convoy of ships, sending a warning to Rey, having been barely recovered from his injuries from The Force Awakens. Rose correctly deduces he was deserting the ship and unaware to the true motives of shock to. Okay, that was in this film, yeah. The two reached understanding to help each other and find a way for the rebel fleet to escape the pursuing First Order. They even seemed to have a future of romance sorts. But Rose stopped Finn from making a suicide run in the climax. I really hated that one. That was the one scene that was true. That's what a lot of people hated. Because he could have been like luckily crashed and survived that whole thing, but instead, no, they basically ruined it. The film said this was because her scene was tied to the late Carrie Fisher, but some fans don't buy that. None of the other than John Boyega reference was his viral interview on GQ, which he minced no words about how Finn had been sidelined himself in episode 4 and 6 and complained like you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. He says you knew what to do with these other people, but when it comes to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you know you effed all. Which is why people kind of got upset with that movie and didn't like that movie, because the storyline was, I would agree, was stupid, and they screwed over those characters. And given the turnabout of Rose, she found her band of defenders, and some whom on Reddit stated the post and the photo Rose of Finn at their meeting with the bold scene, the scene of duo general. As much as the charm is Han and Leia, the original Trinity, some people roundly disagree with that. One protest is that Han and Leia had chemistry, though, and believed it was a love story. The topic stated responded, I'm talking about the charm among characters, not romance. I like Finn and Rose chemistry a lot, but some fans do agree that separating the characters was a mistake, with one saying, I see no reason for J.J. Abrams to split them up as trios. They might as well have been a couple, even if Rose kept her reduced role. Finn Rose could have been a moment at the end. Instead, Finn went with Rey and Poe being the core trio of heroes that seemed to be like a good idea on paper, but fans thought that part of the movie was unwritten. Perhaps Rose had a stronger role in The Rise of Skywalker, and that might be strengthening Finn too. There might be fewer pieces than Finn sideline too. Okay. After the release of Exo Play, Tran made an appearance in Presenter of the Year's Oscars, with many other people joking. Even in the brief appearance, gave her more screen time than she got in Rise of Skywalker. If you're counting with a stopwatch, it might actually be true. However, Tran will not be on the sidelines for long. She'll be working for Disney again, but with a very different division of studio and the animation. As NBC reported, she will been cast in the lead role of Disney's next animation movie, Raya, the Last Dragon Studio, the first movie since Frozen 2. So, the thing I'm going to go ahead and say right now, and I'm going to be nice about this because I want to be very nice about this. I don't condone the harassment of Mary Marie Tran, because here's the thing I'm going to say right now. Kelly Marie Tran didn't deserve what happened to her. I do believe the whole issue was her kissing a black guy. And I believe when they showed this to China, China got upset and was upset when that happened. That's what caused this whole hatred towards her. And the fact that it sort of caused China to be turned off by that movie. And they kind of... it kind of was a really bad movie. And a lot of people kind of see this movie like, this film was okay. But I'm going to be nice about this in a nicer way. Because it's kind of ridiculous, but I want to go ahead and say this. I do agree that what happened to Kelly Marie Tran was kind of a sad situation, but this is what's going on. Some people called it yellow fever. Some people called it racism, because it was sort of that film was kind of stereotypical. Because they kind of portrayed Finn as this this dumb buffoon character in this movie, and I understood that he was a part of the trilogy, he was a part of the story, but it felt like, you know, he was a trained soldier, but he didn't know how to do any of the stuff that he did. And he was acting like a buffoon. He was not trained very well, educated very well. He was, and of course, this is the funny thing. They kind of, like, I kind of had a joke around about it a lot. I used to remember talking about this film saying that, hey, they named Finn after Huckleberry Finn, as in the book, and referring to him as Finn. And it's like, I kind of do feel bad for John Boyega playing that role, because he didn't deserve what happened to him. And the thing I feel really upset about was the way they treated his character in that whole thing. It was kind of obvious. Hi, how's it going? I'm sorry that I haven't responded yet, but I'm just kind of been busy with a lot of things. I haven't been able to upload content, but I haven't really responded yet. I'm sorry that I haven't really responded to you. I've been busy with a lot of things. Just looking at the screen right here, because I'm just trying to explain some things on this live stream. And right now I'm just messing around with a lot of things. So how's it going? All right, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and look up something. I'm sorry if I get too distracted. I'm sorry about that. I would like to tell you guys what's going on. And I know I haven't been able to say anything, but I might as well say, how you doing, everybody? I just usually do this live stream once in a while. I haven't really responded to you guys, and I apologize for anybody who responded to me. I tend to look into the notes and everything, and I'm trying to look at this stuff while looking at the screen. I only have like one screen right now. I usually have I would work with two screens, but right now I'm working with one. And plus I bought a new computer, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys something that's kind of funny. Let's see here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let me see what that is. Oh, cool. Homebrew 2D tile editor. It seems NES and video. Okay, so created one. Oh, that's actually pretty cool. What is this thing? Oh, that is pretty cool. You got to check this out. That is pretty cool. He's trying to reprogram Zelda, trying to re-edit Zelda and recreate it. That's actually pretty cool. And he's using JavaScript on this, and he's making a map of this. I'll tweet that one. That's actually pretty good. Yeah. So and he's actually demonstrating the engine that he's doing. He's trying to create an RPG, which I think is pretty cool, though. You can see right here, this guy's actually developing a really good game. And that's actually pretty good animation that he's trying to do, because he's trying to code the whole thing. Let's defeat. This is your home.
Don't go any further without a weapon. You should check the chest over there. Hey, don't be stupid. Hey, don't be stupid. Hey, don't be stupid.
Awesome Quest 3. That's funny. It's actually a pretty good RPG that he's trying to develop right now. case you're wondering, he's actually trying to develop that game. I thought it was actually a pretty good concept that he's doing. Let's see. What's on social media right now? All right. Because there's been some things going on. I haven't really gone on to it. Freelance digital artists reposted names Ryu Horodani, currently going to Donna GNC, non-binary, gender, trans, blah, 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 blah. Protect his tweets after backlash. Just got outed for being a creep. This is the top. Oh, yeah. I found out that, Dan from Game Grumps is getting canceled. Video evidence of Dan's accusations over the years now has been accusations about Dan's evident sexting, sleeping, and ghosting younger fans, among other things. Several girls have come forward publicly, while others have contacted me or other privately. A few days ago, another girl who wishes to remain anonymous, so not blurg, reasons contacted me for saying that she wanted to come forward, sharing both her story and some physical evidence. To prove her story is true, this is indeed Dan. She was given permission to show. She has given permission to show a video she received from him. This video followed up with a request that Dan asking her to tell him how she would like to be fucked in the tub. Oh, crap. And her experience with Dan matches the pattern of the girls who have come forward. While she was underage, she privately contacted him and as a fan and more than happily engaged in conversation. As the years went by, she became a legal age. Their conversations turned into sexting, eventually led up to her meeting him backstage at the Game Grumps live show where sexual activity occurred. A couple weeks after that, all contact from Dan ceased. Wow. So they basically Dan had sex with them. Had been in contact with her, but when she became legal age, had sex with her, and then he basically didn't contact her again. I would say, yeah, it's pretty scummy, but at the same time, let's put it this way. Because according to her experience with Dan matches the pattern of girls who have come forward while she was underage. She privately contacted him. And this is the part that says, as the years went by, she became of legal age. So basically, she was legal. And those conversations turned into sexting, and it went sexual. And then weeks later, Dan stopped talking to her. Yeah, it sounds like he was being manipulative, but not a pedo in a way. I would say maybe, because it's kind of hard to tell you, because if he basically did that, he was trying to be a player. That is something a player would do. So that's basically after she became of age. Nothing burger. Just because you regret the relationship doesn't mean you were assaulted. That I could agree with. But the problem is it's like a nothing burger, and that's kind of bashing the casting of Overwatch. What do you mean that? Only stated playing Apex recently. Don't like, this is kind of what's going on. And yeah. So Dan from Great Gamer Grumps, like, the drama never ends with Gamer Grumps. And right now, Gamer Grumps is going down the toilet right now with this drama that happened because Dan basically tried to play her. And the girls are coming forward over this because of the fact that he had sex with them at a legal age. And now, yeah. So he basically had sex with the girls. And the girls probably wanted a relationship with Dan. And Dan basically cut all ties by basically played them. Basically knew them at a young age, followed them. So it was sort of a grooming thing, but at the same time, you know, he basically took advantage of the girls. And the girls want their revenge. So yeah, this is turning into a situation of drama. And I do agree what Dan probably did was wrong. But I don't think what he did was wrong when he basically... what he did was basically like a typical Chad move. Basically fuck them and leave them. That's pretty much what Dan did. Yes, he took advantage of them. And yes, this does happen in culture. I'm not denying this. A lot of women fall for those type of guys. And it does happen. Especially when they're young and naive. And it does happen a lot. And a lot of women tend to fall for those type of people. Especially big personalities like Dan. Sure, there was a power dynamic and everything. But here's the problem with it. He did it at a legal age. Which the girls consented into having sex with him. And yeah, what he did was pretty scummy. And the problem is that I'm not trying to defend Dan. But I do agree that what Dan did was pretty scummy. And at the same time, what he did was pretty wrong too. Because he should never done that. If he wanted to date girls like that and girls wanted to date him, you should have never tried to do that. Because that's what a player does. That's what a scummy player would do. And this can also hurt his reputation in the dating scene, especially with other women. And I can understand why these women are upset with him. But when it comes down to it, he did it at a legal age. He's not like those creepy guys but yes, he did take advantage of her, but in a way that was in his own ball court. He basically played her. And yeah, both men and women do this. Especially older women do this to young guys too. I'm not kidding. I see that happen. So, this type of stuff does happen. Sometimes Dan Avedon basically became a player. And that's pretty much what's going on. Yeah, so that's what's going on. And the whole Gamer Grumps situation, it's case closed. It's a case closed situation. I don't even think this was kind of because already Game Grumps is trending. JonTron really is playing the long game, pretending to be racist to get out of Game Grumps. Gotta respect the 4D chest. Like everyone's, like they're basically. I assume the Game Grumps party's over. Eagle Raptor is gonna delete all the Game Grumps videos, then start over with Peanut Butter Gamer. Multiplier is the only YouTuber I 100% trust after the whole Game Grumps cancellation. Everyone else is SUS. Why? Yeah, the memes are pretty much getting there. If no one YouTuber got me, I know Multiplier got me. I can't get a it's not hard to not be a pedophile. This is how bad it is. So this is what happened, and I'm just laughing at this. TW grooming. I'm sick of this fucking. I'm sick of my fucking stomach. Holy shit. This hits me harder than most Game Grumps. Was such a source of comfort, simple joy of me, and Ninja Sex Party was my favorite band ever. I changed my layout every time a new song or music video came out of hype of them. David Abney, Gamer Grumps, laughs in one player's genre. Yeah, and they and they're basically using the oh boy, that website. I'm not going to mention the website, but I will mention the fact that I used to go to that website a lot in the early 90s, early 2000s. Me having zero attachment to Gamer Grumps growing up and seeing this is all going down. Oh no. I'm glad I didn't see Gamer Grumps, but I know they make a lot of good content for video games and everything, but it's kind of funny how the rant grumps, photosensitivity, like check why Game Grumps is trending. I'm disappointed immensely and my day is ruined. And this is trending. The Game Grumps news is hitting me pretty hard. As a former diehard fan, but more than anything, my heart goes out to the victims of Dan's behavior. Please stay safe. Content creators are never exempt from scrutiny, especially when young people come forward about abuse. I would say, yes, it's a sort of abuse. At the same time, it was wrong of him to do that, basically trying to sleep with women, taking advantage of those young girls, resharing the light of today's news about Gamer Grumps. This tweet I made always alluding the dangerous situation like this. Please be careful with who you're talking online. I don't think people should idolize VAs or any popular online figure. In truth, we're just a bunch of regular nerds who somehow managed to break into the industry. Doesn't mean their opinions hold any more weight that all of them are morally and right either. Just be wary, which is what the message should be. I do agree with that point. Fuck, bro, these new Game Grumps allegations are hitting me pretty hard. Yep, even Ordinary Gamer is upset about this. Game Grumps is trending on Twitter, and I... Yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now, guys. That's what's going on. Oh, look, into the whole Game Grumps accusation. It appears that it's all bull. Game Grumps is trending because Danny Sexbag engaged in consensual sexual activity with a 22-year-old fan, sharing misleading summary from the sub-hate. Evidence as to what consensually hooking up with literally a 22-year-old. The whole story is say hi to Dan at 17 years, 11 months old. Turned 18 later, 4 years ago, gets the groupies treatment. Yeah, and I do agree with that. Misleading summary from a hate sub. If you're using the current situation of Game Grumps to boost another content creator you have a parasocial relationship with, I'm begging you to step back and ask yourself, why are you using Survivor's traumatic experience with grooming as advertising to someone else? No. I don't really think so. I'm just trying to go with the accusation of, yes, what he did was totally wrong. No, I don't think what he did was he was pedophile-ish or anything like that. He basically took advantage of her. And yes, he did take advantage of her by having sex with her and then, and then just using her like tissue paper and throwing her away. Yeah, that type of behavior is wrong. The girl was very much in love with the guy, and I can understand why she basically was upset with him and basically came out of her way to say these things. And yes, it was a consensual between two. She was an adult at the time, and it was at legal age. And yes, it was wrong that what he did was wrong. But this is one thing I would say. Avoid him and do not try to ask him out on a date. Don't go out with him. Be forewarned. But don't cancel him. Just warn others about him, which is fine. Zero days since the last YouTube pedo allegations. In regards to Gator Grumps situation,
Daniel Avidan, you apologize right now.
Daniel Avidan, how could you?
Dan, how could you say that?
Dan, what the fuck are you thinking?
Lee Daniel Avidan, you apologize right now.
Daniel Avidan, how could you?
Yeah, so if nobody got me, I know Jeremiah got me. Can I get an amen? Like literally, there are memes of this. This is what's going on, and that's what happened. Like literally, that's what's happening right now. That's what's trending, and that's what's been happening right now. Like the Game Grumps thing is literally what happened, and I'm not gonna try to use this for clout. The fact that I'm just let me get this straight. The girl was legal, but they were grooming. She was getting groomed by him since she was young, and of course she was at the legal age. They had sex, and he basically didn't call her anymore after that. Game Grumps Dan Avidan, Danny's sex bang is trending because of a misleading Reddit post that got telephoned out of control on Twitter. He's not a groomer or a predator. Calm your tits, which I do agree. And I do agree with this because that's the point I am making here. He's not a groomer. But he is a terrible person, which I'm going to say because that's what he is. That is the whole point I'm going to agree with. I will agree with. That is something I will agree. Game Grumps and Dan Avidan, Danny Sexbang is trending because of a misleading Reddit post that got telephoned out of control on Twitter. He's not a groomer or a predator. Calm your tits, which is what it is. And the point that I'm making here is that he's none of those things. He's a player. He's a guy who basically played a girl into sleeping with her. She fell for it and basically threw her in the trash. That's what he did. That is a horrible thing to do. That is a horrible reality we live in. That is the horrible thing that people do. She was young and naive and didn't realize what type of person that Dan is. And yes, Dan is a terrible person, but I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think he's that he's a groomer. But here's the thing. He did it at a legal age. I'm so tired of this shit. Game Grumps were so comfortable to me for so long, and I'm so fucking disappointed and disgusted. And this is something that people need to understand. And yes, it's sad. I'm absolutely gutted about Dan from Game Grumps being a predator. Really looked up to him. And this is something I kind of agree with a lot of people. The end of Game Grumps, you should not fuck with your fans. Yes, Dan, you should never fuck your fans. You should, if you really want it. Like this guy was a player, and I'm not gonna try to say anything, but yeah, fuck you, Game Grumps. I swear to God, I looked up to you both for years. Dan is a groomer, or is equally guilty of continuing to employ him. You keep him on the show. Fuck Game Grumps. Fuck Dan Avidan. Fuck Aaron Hansen. Yeah, and this is something that Gamer Grumps is doing. Well, even though the show is now over, in retrospect, Game Grumps is being involved in the mighty Magisword. Dan singing the new intro sure sucks. The Tiny Magic Sword, the Cartoon Network original. So yeah, that's so yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that song. Let me see if I can find it, because I have the song right here, because this is so funny. YouTube, this stream is canceled. I guess I better go ahead and play my music as soon as possible, because this is what Dan is going to be dealing with right now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and play it right now, because this is pure cringe, and I hate to say it, like, this is what's going on. So Dan basically, yeah, so this is what's going on right now. And I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. This is the song that I'm going to play.
I tell you what you're gonna, I'm gonna cancel that ass when judgment come for you. Hey, gonna cancel somebody, gonna cancel somebody, gonna cancel somebody. I'm gonna cancel everybody.
Yeah, so that's what happened. Everyone was canceled. Game Grumps is canceled. This whole fucking thing is canceled. This is literally what's going on. This is all canceled. Game Grumps is trending on Twitter. Like, everyone is literally... This is what's going on. Like, all the girls are drinking pizza and beer and vodka. Yep. Dan from Game Grumps just got outed as a fucking creep. Time to go back into the cry hole till someone else I thought was a good person turns out to be an awful person. Yes, he was an awful person. Oh wait, I knew that chick before. Yeah. A Mudkip girl. If you give a man an ego. RH Situation, Dan Avidan's Game Grumps. Ninja Muffin era, my favorite era of Game Grumps. Wow, Game Grumps news sure sometimes feels like it's almost a parody. The guy who goes by Danny Sexbang in the band Ninja Sex Party is a groomer. I don't really think he's a groomer, because he did have sex with her at a legal age. And the problem is that this is what's going on. People are very upset with Dan because Dan basically took advantage of young women, and those impressionable women basically called him out because of the fact that they were treated like groupies. That's what happened. That was their response to him. That was what is going on. Any questions? Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. That's what Dan did, and this is literally what's going on social media about Dan, and the fact that cancel culture is canceling Dan Avidan from Game Grumps. And Game Grumps happens to be the most popular YouTube channel ever for kids, and a lot of women like it because it's funny and entertaining. and a lot of the stuff that they do is pretty much they played games together, and they sort of do this stuff for the fun of it. But it's sad that hearing that Dan is in trouble for taking advantage of women. I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think he's a groomer either. But I do think he's a player who deserves to be called out for being a player and taking advantage of women in a way that should never happen. But then again, he did. And they were young women who basically felt they were taken advantage of by Dan. And yes, what Dan did was wrong, but he didn't deserve to be canceled for this stuff. But I do suggest to women to tell people Dan was a player who basically took advantage of women vulnerability when they were younger. But yeah, I don't think he's sort of a groomer, but he's not. He's sort of a sexual predator. No, he didn't rape these women. He basically took advantage of their naive ability to think that Dan's kind of cool. And it's sort of the power dynamic that women have. Be attracted to guys on YouTube that are really famous, that have that are well known. But it's sad that Dan did this type of thing. And yes, what Dan did was kind of wrong, basically treating the women that he had sex with as groupies and never contacting them again. Yeah. So Dan pretty much put himself in a situation to where, so Dan's basically a player. I don't think he's a bad person per se, but what he did was wrong. And yes, he should be called out for basically taking advantage of women like that by basically having sex with them and then throwing them away like tissue paper. That is something that's a reasonable thing. But at the same time, I don't think he's a pedophile. I don't think he's a groomer. I think he's more of a player, and the player got exposed for being a player. But the fact is, the guy took, and this is something that people need to address too. Like, he's a well-known YouTuber. Girls liked him and thought he was really cool, and it turned sexual. And of course, that's what happened. Truly loved one person sitting on the toilet, sitting at the counter watching Game of Thrones animated together. Anyone but Dan, Game of Thrones fan, opened Twitter. The day ruined. All because video evidence of Dan's accusations. So yeah, Dan really took advantage of the girl. But I don't think he's a groomer. I don't think he's a pedophile. But I think he's sort of a player and a womanizer. And yeah, he took advantage of the girl pretty badly by emotionally manipulating the girl into sleeping with him. And that's what happened. And I'm not trying to defend him, but yeah, he deserves to be called out for being a womanizer. That's fine. Call him a womanizer. Don't call him that type of person, because that's what I think he is. Like, he's a womanizer. He takes advantage of young women, naiveness, and I think that's the problem with Dan. And the fact that people need to understand, Dan basically caused this problem, and that's Dan's fault. He took advantage of girls, and those women want their revenge. They basically called him out for it, and that's fine. Which I'm not going to try to deny their agency, but here's the problem: he didn't rape them. He had sex with them. They both were consenting adults. And the problem is that he did it at a legal age, and the girls basically consented and fell for the guy, but the guy kind of ran away and didn't want to commit to them. That does happen a lot with what happens. It does happen to a lot of people. Women thought, oh, he's handsome, he's very funny, he's very sexy, and this goes into their thought process. And this is what I'm looking at from an analytical standpoint. They liked him. They basically thought he was cool, sexy, and funny, but at the same time, they realized what Dan was. He was a scumbag. He basically took advantage of the girls by basically whining and dining them and then having sex with them. And then when all that is done, he basically left and didn't contact them again. This is the typical type of player type of thing that a guy does. This is the type of stuff that you would expect from any guy. But then again, not all guys are like that. But Dan happens to be one of those people that likes to be a player. And Dan happens to be a player, and that's pretty much what I'm standing by. He's not a groomer. He's not a pedophile. He's a player. And he knows how to get game from girls and knows how to treat the girls right and then fuck them and then leave them. That's pretty much what he was. That does happen. And I'm not trying to deny that. So, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and see something here. And I'm going to go ahead and try to... Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I forgot Grossgore. Like, I heard that Grossgore got accused of sexual harassment at TwitchCon. Yes, a girl came forward about him being a predator. Like, he basically touched women inappropriately. Those were the accusations that happened. There's been something that's been Q Into the Storm. That's another one. Oh, Jesus Christ. A documentary about Q. QAnon, who is behind the Operation Also Free Speech and Pigs series premiere. Oh God, this is going to be funny. While sitting here watching HBO series premiere of QAnon Storm, I've come to the conclusion my new single voice voter issue of free higher education. Oh God, these people are really... You're in a cult. Call your dad. Yeah, this is pure cringe right now on social media. No, sorry, that's the wrong one. I accidentally clicked it. This is the QAnon and the Storm thing. Like, they're trying to do a documentary. I expose people that literally rape and eat babies. Okay, believe this shit. One thing, giving money to an ignorant people like this chick is a special kind of stupid. I got sick of that Q dad said his small child is shouting, build a wall. Watching QAnon just keep saying these fucking people to myself, but real, these fucking people. This is so crazy. So anonymous leader Q talks about child sex trafficking while posting porn. Who is stupid to believe this? People are making shitloads of money pushing this Q stupid narrative. Take them down, YouTube. QStorm. QAnon, basically the dudes living out revenge of the nerds, hallucinogenics. Yeah, this is kind of what's going on. Like, I can understand why, because people do not like QAnon, because QAnon has been for years a conspiracy around this, surrounding about child sex trafficking, Don't worry, Jim changes his facial hair in QAnon star more often than Alex Jones changes. Clean shaven Jim Watkins makes me very uncomfortable. Like, this is kind of what's going on. It's like a lunacy of conspiracy, and this is kind of what's going on right now. Like, there's a lot of cringe that's been happening. The cringe, follow the plan. The cringe, but this is kind of what's going on. Like, the conspiracy that they deal with every day. Yeah, so basically this is kind of why people believe in this stuff, believe in this whole situation with 8chan. And it kind of turned into a situation where Q basically, caused this situation of predictions about what happened. That HBO documentaries, the Q storm, develops into the origins of QAnon. It links to Trump and the cost of free speech. Read a review. And starting the QAnon doc series on HBO, why not annoy myself on a Sunday evening? Yeah, and this is what's going on. My thoughts on disturbing but important QAnon storm documentary on HBO Max. And it's crazy how this all happened. And this is why most people do not take this seriously. I can't really take it seriously because this is the type of conspiracy that happened with QAnon and QAnon's involvement and how people don't like Q and why Q has been a campaign to basically claim that Q was like, this goes into the insanity hole of reality that we live in these days. I don't really have a problem with QAnon. I understand that this is something that Q people believe. There are a lot of conspiracy theories that kind of evolved around QAnon and what QAnon represents. There's also the fact that people kind of believe that the reason why Trump won was the fact that but there was also another thing that popped up. I remember the Podesta thing, like about the whole alien thing a while back. Like the Podesta UFO. John Podesta on UFOs. I worked with a lot of Senator Reid in question on Omakee Talk Radio. Like, a lot of people don't know who Podesta is. Like, he was involved in this whole thing. A large portion of Weekly contained DeLong's UFO stuff as well as spirit cooking stuff. Why do people believe this is the QAnon stuff? This is what they kind of talked about. Like the pictures of celebrities doing this, and they believe that QAnon was involved in this weird thing. That's what I'm unbiased about Q stuff, but why does the political Hollywood elites continue to host these spirit cooking parties over and over to spend millions of dollars on them? What's the point in cutting the legs like that of the fake caviar pic with Gwen? Large portion of Weekly is contained the long UFO stuff as well as the spirit cooking stuff. Why do people only believe that one thing, the two subjects are real? Yeah, because the Podesta UFO thing was real. And I do recall that they made a TV show about this with Tom DeLonge. And Tom DeLonge actually did UFO, because it's on the History Channel. I actually did watch his show. Tom. Yeah, because Tom DeLonge did a UFO show. And I remembered I saw it. Like he basically is inside. He actually is obsessive with UFOs, and he confirmed it's true about the whole UFO thing. Like the Black Triangle UFOs on YouTube, he plays a clip of the mysterious glowing craft which hovers over Paris and disappeared in a flash of the light. Conspiracy theorists refer to it as TR3B, which believes to be the machine. Like the part about that was true in the emails that happened, because a lot of people seem to forget that one was confirmed true in the emails that were leaked. And I do recall Tom DeLonge, and I do follow him a lot. I haven't really followed him a lot, but he does believe in UFOs. He does, because he actually talked to government officials about this, and it's sad that he hasn't played with Blink 182 in a while. Right now, he's making his own music right now, and the sad thing is, I kind of miss that guy, because a lot of people don't realize who Tom DeLonge is, and this is kind of true because I used to remember the Podesta emails. Does Tom DeLonge have new information on UFOs? And this is kind of the part that Podesta emails talk about was the UFO thing, which was true. And a lot of people don't even talk about that or Tom DeLonge from Blink, who used to be a part of Blink 182, but he left. And I'm surprised no one talked about that. Like, they never really talk about that part about UFOs, but yet they talk about QAnon, because QAnon was more interesting than Tom DeLonge talking about UFOs, because they don't find UFOs very interesting. And the whole disclosure movement was ignored. And that was kind of why people don't talk about this. Like, this is something that should be talked about. But at the same time, they don't talk about Tom DeLonge in the Podesta emails, because a lot of people don't realize that leaked and that was confirmed true. But they never talk about this. Like the FBI declassified under Trump says absolutely the highest security classification he has ever seen on anything that showed something very bad about Trump's involvement in Russia, with a lot of it all hidden, top secret, compartmentalized code word level. So, the former FBI director Andrew McCabe is very specific, undeniable intelligence that would cast the president in a very negative light. I don't know why would he ever want to release it, because I don't see how it could spin into his advantage. John Kelly warns delaying transition could be catastrophic. I remember this good old days when you released it dedicated to music instead of all political spamming. Oh, well, I mean, his personal Twitter, only interesting in his music post, following his band, Twitter instead. Angels and Airwaves, which is what he's trying to promote right now. Like, I don't have a problem. Like, this is what's going on. And let's see, private information. All right, so this is what's going on. Former intelligence chief quit a few more UFO dedicated public knows. Former intelligence chief quit a few more UFOs detected than the public knows. And Tom DeLonge is a big, like, no one bothers to deny it, that he basically is into the whole UFO thing, same as Dan Aykroyd. If Tom DeLonge and Dan Aykroyd came together and talked, it'd be funny if Dan Aykroyd and him talked together about UFOs, and they would probably come up with some really amazing conspiracy theories. I would love to see them come together and actually make a documentary about that and see what happens. Because I know that the government doesn't really talk about this, but it would be interesting if he would talk to Dan Aykroyd about it. Because it is interesting enough, and it's a shame that because no one bothered to talk about the Podesta leaks and the fact that the part about him and UFOs was true, and they never talk about that, but yet they talk about QAnon the most of the time. In the conspiracy, because a lot of people don't know, Tom DeLonge is into the UFO conspiracy thing. And he does follow the disclosure movement, which is a group of people that want the government to disclose the fact that UFOs have been around for a long time, and they want people to know that these things exist and have been seen, and want the public to know that they acknowledge that they've seen these things, that people have witnessed it, seen them, and don't consider them mentally insane, because they did see things. Even a whole bunch of people seeing them in a small town or a big population in the past. And it gets to the point that people are concerned about this issue, and I do agree that I don't believe they're crazy. I just think, yeah, it's possible that we've seen things that can't be explained. And the thing is like no one talks about that, but they would follow the whole QAnon thing and think that's a whole bunch of craziness, but yet they do that either way. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna have to go, and take care, guys. I appreciate you watching the stream, even though it's not really entertaining. It was pure cringe. It wasn't really that. I know that I wish I had my friends on, but unfortunately not many of my friends talk to me or even talk to me as much. So you guys take care. Bye-bye. Because I gotta go.